Aloha from the big island of Hawaii. Happy solstice, everybody. I'm AK Mantis, and this is Dot. I found Dot on the ground. Someone lost Dot. As soon as I picked Dot up, she started talking to me. And I realized, oh wait, you're embodying my great aunt Dolores. And it was kind of funny timing too, because I had just had a Zoom session with Moon Manifesta, and Moon has an intergalactic guide named Froggy. And so there was some overlap there. So shout out to you, Moon and Froggy. If you sent Dot my way, thank you. I love her. So this channel, what did I name it? This is my third channel, YouTube channel, that I've been guided to start. There will be 5, I think, hopefully only 5 by the time I'm done. This channel is called The Grid Keepers Collective, and the name came from Dolores Cannon. So welcome. Welcome to the Grid Keepers Collective. I have some note cards, and my chair's squeaky. I apologize. I am a high school teacher, so I use note cards a lot, and I'm currently in the school office. Yeah, there's nobody here since it's winter break, so it's nice and quiet. And it turns out that my teacher's office is really small, and when there's no one inside, it's like a sound booth. It's really nice. Although you could probably hear the buzzing from the fridge. Sorry. Okay, so like I said, I'm AK Mantis. I'm the host avatar of this channel, and I've made this channel for the divine, or some say the Most High, God, the Creatrix, Source, Universe, Great Spirit. I have been instructed to make these YouTube channels so that I can help assist in connecting as many embodied souls on the earth, and that will hopefully allow us all to start creating this dream that we're living in together. Because we are creator beings, we're creating our reality whether we know it or not. And we can create in a fear-based frequency, or we can create in a love-based frequency. And I think we know what frequency most people are creating in at this point. So I'm here to help connect people, raise awareness, bring hope, spread joy, raise the vibration, help as many people learn how to create their realities and have direct revelation as possible. So a little about the origins of AK Mantis. The first thing you need to know about me is that I am a mother. I have 2 teenagers and 1 tween. My keiki, as we say here in Hawaii, which means children, my children have saved my life, and they are extremely gifted and talented, and everything I do in my life is for them. And that includes building a better world that they can be part of, and my grandchildren can be part of. The next thing you need to know about me is that I was thoroughly indoctrinated into the Western education system. I hold 4 college degrees. I have an associate's in arts degree, Kona coffee. It's the best. Okay. I have 4 college degrees. Associate's in Arts degree, a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering, a Master's of Science in Engineering Technology Management, and I also have a Master of Science in Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. I'm currently teaching algebra and trigonometry and robotics at a project-based high school here on the big island of Hawaii. I'm at least of Polynesian, American Indian, and European descent. In 2016, I suffered a trauma that led me away from my Western mindedness and into me having what I thought were solely prophetic dreams, and which some of them were. I'd always been a strong dreamer, but I started having waking visions and dreams of places and people and things and myself being other places and people that I couldn't explain, but definitely existed. Currently, I am working with the epic energy of Thoth to write a series of books. The first book is AK Mantis Origins. I'm almost done with that book. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but basically the gist of the origin story is, well, it starts at birth for sure, but the gist of how I came to know about my American Indian roots is that I was bit by a centipede, and the venom led me to my family. And once I was led to my family and there were certain truths revealed to me, I started to walk on the shaman's path. I had a mentor, a very wonderful man, and his wife mentored me in the ways of shamanic journey work. And I happily adventured down the shamanic path for, I don't know, 6 years until about 2022, when I met my false twin flame. Yeah. So then I spent 3 years in the School of Hard Knocks, and I just narrowly escaped that situationship in March of this year. I had to leave my house of 9 years, the house I raised my keiki in, for my own safety. And then once I did this, I was out in nature a lot more. I didn't immediately have a place to stay, so luckily I live in Hawaii. I stayed in my car, I stayed on the beach, I stayed at friends' houses. And because I was out in nature so much, and I started to get in touch with my ancestors again, and I was in a lot of pain, emotional pain and distress, so I prayed a lot, I journeyed a lot, I read tarot a lot, I, just generally connected and tapped in, especially to the earth, because that's where all the juice is, all the energy is. And because I was doing this, I started to ascend really rapidly. So that was in March, the end of March, during the partial solar eclipse on the 28th. And then by June, I found myself in Japan. I wanted to go and visit my acupuncture sensei's hometown. My acupuncture sensei, she's still around, she's still with us. She is this amazing 89-year-old woman. She's a master of energy work. I've been lucky enough to be with her as an apprentice since 2019. So I went to her hometown. I got in touch with some samurais, especially the Hojo clan. And the Hojo clan, they defeated the Mongol invasions twice. I came into relation with a very powerful green dragon. And then I was given a mission while I was in Japan through a dream. And that mission was to start a YouTube channel called Wayfinder MIA. MIA stands for Missing in Ascension. Now, I, at the time in June, was a person that didn't use my throat chakra at all. I was very quiet. I preferred the company of trees and animals to people. I just had a closed down throat chakra for my entire life because it had been attacked my entire life. I had no social media, no Facebook account, no Instagram. I didn't take part in anything like that. And so when I was told that I was going to start a YouTube channel, I was a little freaked out. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little freaked out. But the universe told me it can be egoless. Start it without any ego. Just make it the universe's YouTube channel and that you host. And so starting that YouTube channel and starting this job as a teacher has really opened my throat chakra and has been a really important part of my healing. That channel was started on August 8th during the full moon. I always upload on the full moons to that channel, at least one video, but usually a lot more than one video because they're short. They're little short videos of joy and fun. So that was also the Lionsgate portal. And the channel turned out to be me taking joyful moments that I had in my life, and then I would pair them randomly with channeled songs that had come through during the month. And also I put links to other YouTube videos that I found helpful in my ascension. Okay, I'm back. My phone storage was full. Never really quite had that happen before, so I just grabbed my iPad. We'll see how this works. I was telling you, I believe, how I haven't used my throat chakra for my entire life until recently. So yeah, bear with me as I learn how to convey my ideas through words, and as I learn how to speak more eloquently and not use crutch words like and like and you know all the time. So I really appreciate the forgiveness and the grace and the support as I work through my throat chakra block. So back to Wayfinder. Wayfinder MIA, it's just a place of joy. It's a place of entertainment, catharsis, good music. It's a place where you can connect with the divine. You can find more information, maybe helpful information that you might use during your ascension. It also has something called Tea Time with Mantis. I am a tarot reader and a diviner in general. I can read pretty much anything. I love scrying, and I love reading clouds, and yeah, Tea Time with Mantis is basically where I go to power spots around the world. There's a lot here in Hawaii, but also I've been to places in Europe, like the Colosseum in Rome, and some places, other places in Italy and Malta, and I just pull cards on the energy of the place, and I've done one reading. Um, I've done one reading of the cards that I've pulled on the Colosseum at Rome, and the next Tea Time with Mantis is going to be from cards I pulled in Waipio Valley, which has been made famous now by the series Chief of War, Jason Momoa's series. It's the Waipio Valley is unreal as far as the energy. It's where King Kamehameha was raised and lived, and was hidden away because there were other people after him, because he was prophesied to unite the islands. It's a good series. Check it out. I like it. But that'll be my next Tea Time with Mantis. Perhaps I'll post it here as well on this channel. Let's see where we're at here. Waipio Valley. Okay. So that's Wayfinder MIA. Then on my spiritual birthday, the day I got bit by the centipede, that is in November, I started the Shamanic Understanding channel. I went to the rim of the Halimau crater and did some drumming, did a little shamanic journey, and then recorded a video sort of about shamanism, what shamanism is to me, how I got involved in it, that sort of thing. And I thought at that time that I would be continuing the work of my spiritual mentor, Hank Wesselman, and leading people on shamanic journeys, but I've been guided to restructure that channel. And if you want to take a look at that channel is called Shamanic Understanding. I can probably link it somewhere in the description for this channel. I'm sure all the channels will be linked somehow, some way, miraculously, by the divine algorithm. So I knew back in October that I was going to be starting this channel, this third channel, and I knew that it was going to focus on grid work, and at the time I had no idea what grid work meant or what it entailed. I just knew that it had something to do with the Earth's magnetic fields. At least that's what I thought. That was my only inclination of what grid work might actually be. But then, speaking of the divine algorithm, 2 days ago, a video from Dolores Cannon came across my feed for Shamanic Understanding, and in that video, Dolores Cannon talks about the 3 waves of volunteers and grid keepers. At that point, before I'd watched that video, I had known a little bit about Dolores Cannon. She had popped up when I was researching twin flames back in 2021. She popped up, and so I didn't know that she was a past life regressionist. I didn't know anything about her until 2 days ago. And so I decided that when she mentioned the grid workers being here on this planet already, something clicked. All these memories came flooding back. I realized that I've been working on the grid of the planet since I was young, really young. I've always loved to be outside. I've always been in nature. I've always preferred to be in nature, and I've always had a special relationship with Mother Earth. And so I decided that I was going to take a journey to speak with Dolores Cannon herself, if she wanted to. So I used a rattle. I went into a trance state, which is not like a suppressed state. Trance state is actually an expanded state of consciousness. If you're interested in that, check out Shamanic Understanding. I'll be going into all the details about shamanic journey work and direct revelation, and how you can create your own reality on this planet here, which you are. So I guess how you can consciously create your own reality on this planet. So let's see. I wanted to read you my notes from my journey with Dolores. So on 12/19, I used the rattle to connect I used the rattle as a physical stimulus to go into the theta brainwave functions. Theta means gift from God. Oh, same as Dorothea, gift from God. Side note. So the first thing that came through when I went into trance was the knowing that I am a keeper of the flame. I have been a keeper of the flame for lifetimes. And then Dolores stepped in, her matrix, the matrix of energy that is Dolores Cannon, stepped in, and I told her, thank you for laying the groundwork for our collective ascension. And I thought I was being pretty funny, because groundwork, and I don't know, it just seemed like grid work humor. She laughed a little bit. So she then proceeded to tell me that I was a grid keeper in Atlantis. She also told me that some souls have never been recycled, and they have been in existence since the Big Bang, she called it. They're still intact. And then I responded to that with, they are pieces and crumbs of the first thought. And she said yes. That's a good way to think of it. She says, let's continue to work together, and thank you for being so pure. I've been working the last 9 years to purify myself as a vessel so that I could do healing work and have the divine channel through me. So she thanked me for that, which was very kind of her. I think that she's a pure soul too. So as I was in my car listening to the rattling track and doing the shamanic journey work, talking to Dolores, there comes another car in the 3D that pulls up next to me, and they are blaring Fleetwood Mac Dreams. That's the one that says, thunder only happens when it's raining. I'm not going to sing. I'll spare you. Thunder only happens when it's raining. So those words just started blaring next to me as I'm trying to speak to Dolores. And Dolores says, I love listening to music through your ears. And then I told her, or I asked her, I've been told that I can turn fire into water. Do you know anything about this? She says, yes. You turn fire into water. You can catch lightning. You are a human lightning rod. And I said, kind of like one of those spikes that you stick in the ground or the sand, and then when lightning hits it, it turns the sand into glass. And she said, yes, glass and water, fusion and steam. And then I responded, that makes me think of Pele's hair or volcanic glass. At that point in the journey, Dot, not my Labubu Dot, but my great aunt Dot, my grandmother's sister Dot, Dorothea, my grandmother herself, well, her spirit, Sekhmet, Hecate, they all joined us. And collectively, they sent me the message to speak to us at any time. You are beautiful. We are happy to experience the world through you and your beautiful eyes. Dolores Cannon then spoke up and said, you are so gifted, so psychic, much more than I. Then there was a knowing. A lot of times in my journey work, there's just information that becomes a knowing. I call it the knowing. In this particular journey, the information was sapphire angels are a specific frequency of angels that use their throat chakra to facilitate healing. Sapphires come in many colors. Sapphire sparks, or souls, have been each of the 3 waves and are here to anchor into the earth high vibrations into the grid work through artwork and other means like a human divining rod. Sapphires lead others. Then at that point, my throat got very warm, and I knew that my throat chakra was healing and that it was being tuned. And I definitely sound different today than I did a couple days ago. I'm actually a little bit more hoarse than I usually am. My voice has always been pretty deep, but I've just been resting. I think that's a key to rest as it heals, and then when the bandage comes off, I'll have a completely different voice. So then Dolores Cannon called me the strike captain of the Grid Keepers Collective. The strike captain as in the picket line, like a strike, a work strike, or a worker strike, and strike captain as in the lightning strike. At that point, there was a beautiful blue dragon of light that came into the vision, and it asked me to link up to all past versions of myself. And then it said, you are here to herald in a new age. And at that point, all of my past selves, future selves, all of my timelines merged, and they were melted together with this blue flame from this blue dragon. So that was pretty intense, and that's where I ended the journey. And in the world of shamanic vision work, everything is personal, and we don't interpret other people's visions for them. And I'm not sharing this with you so that I could have you interpret them for me, the things that happen for me. I'm sharing them with you so that you can understand, maybe not understand, I'm sharing my experiences with you so that you can have validation, that you can have hope, that you can have peace, that you are not alone, you are not weird, you're not strange, you are most likely gifted and here to help the earth. So let's see, Before I met Dolores a couple days ago, I had planned on hosting an in-person 5-day workshop in the English countryside with a friend of mine from England, 5 days before the 2026 autumn equinox. And as of now, I believe that is still the case. I'm not sure what that's going to entail exactly as far as the content, but would definitely be broadcasting our journey work, healing work. We'll definitely be connecting to a lot of people and focusing a lot of energy into the grid at that place, at that specific place. That's where we're going to start our grid workers collective journeys, physical journeys, and energetic healing of the planet. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. See you soon. Love you. Bye. 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 This life is just so silly.